He's a graduate of Father Ryan High School, a three-time school days champion. He attended Memphis State University, played golf for 3 years. He entered the tour in 1964. He's a three-time Ryder Cup and a 1975 U.S. Open champion. Lou Graham.
Thank you. Not often that when I get up to say something, everybody stands up. You must everybody's had a nice drink, I guess. I am a lot funnier when everybody's about half south anyway, so that's good. Bill Becker, he thinks I'm hilarious all the time. He was talking about Luther Hickman and Ray Eaton. You know, I was sitting here, I was thinking about, I first met Luther Hickman. He was out at Shelby Park when I started going over there. I hate to say what year it was, when I first started going over there with my dad, you know, and the younger brother Bud right here. He followed a few years later, but...
I like the younger part.
Yes, that'll be $10, please. I first went over to Shelby Park, and it was before it was Metro. I never heard of Metro until you said that right there. It was just the municipal courses there, and Luther was a pro there at Shelby. This was been in 1944. It would have been the first time I went over. I was 7 years old, and started playing in the tournaments over there when I was 10 years old. And Luther left there. I'm not sure what year. He was there for quite a few years and came here to McCabe. And they were asking me about if I knew any stories about Luther or Hud Eaton there. But Luther was so far ahead of me, I didn't really know. You know, when you're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you don't know a lot about the pro, you know. You're just doing good to get on the bus and get home, you know. So then Ray Eaton and Bill Eaton was there, came over with the Hud, of course, and the thing I remember about Hud, I always watched him. We'd go over there late in the afternoon, and Hud, he was a good putter. I don't know how many of you guys really knew Hud that much at that time. When he was a younger man, boy, he could putt. He'd get on that putting green every afternoon. They'd putt for like an hour, 2 hours out there, and they had a game where they paid off on every hole. When they didn't want any money hanging around. When the hole was over, you pay off right then, you know. And he had a long putting stroke. He'd have a putting stroke that he'd take that putter back. He'd have like a 2-footer or something like that, and they hold them all out. They didn't give them. He'd take a 2-footer, he'd go like this. I mean, he would go back, looked like to me, went back 3 feet, you know, for a 2-footer, and he'd just kind of ease into that thing. And he beat them like a drum every day. He knew those greens. He could really putt. That's what I remember most about Hud. He was a good guy. Had a daughter too, a couple of daughters, I believe, whatever. They had probably them all lived back then. Shelby Park was there was a house, part of the clubhouse. They lived over on the right side, and there was a long porch you went across, and there was a little area where the dining area, and then they had the pro shop over on the side there. But that was torn down a number of years ago. But they lived over in that little house they had attached to the pro shop there for quite a number of years, you know. But you're talking about going out playing in these matches today. He mentioned that I played on the Ryder Cup teams and everything. I feel sorry when you say you had to pick guys to be on the team, you know, because I played on 3 teams and it was all cut and dried. You made the point thing, the 12 guys on the point, and that was it. It wasn't any selection, you know. And then after so many years there, the British team was allowed to select 2 teams. They were trying to even the matches up a little bit. They were allowed to select 2 players to play on their team who hadn't qualified, but maybe they thought would help the team, whatever. And then it started changing there, and it's gone now that the British are winning so much. They're selecting 2, and the Americans are now selecting 4. You know, so it's kind of tilted the other way, you know. But it's a fun time, you know, playing on these type of teams. It's a lot different than just going out and playing for the fun of it yourself or playing in a little game you get together because you got your partner playing with you and you're worried about him feeling bad, but that happens every day of the week. You got your partner, but then all of a sudden you think, I got 18 or 20 more guys back in the clubhouse going to give me down the road. You know, if I lose this match. So it does, it places you in a situation that you're really not used to, so you're a little bit uncomfortable, you know. And the first time you play on the Ryder Cup, it is a lot. You're representing your country and everything, but you just go out there and do the best you can, you know, playing on. But playing golf, I always said that, you know, that think about the game of golf. Wonder who invented golf. Think about it. The fun part of the game of golf is what? Hitting the ball, right? But the fewer times you get to hit the ball, the more fun you have. What a game, you know, whoever invented something like this. I can't imagine this lasted this long. It's just a fad, though. It'd be gone up 4 or 5 years. But they'd asked me what I might talk about, and I said, I don't know. I'm going to just get up here and talk. I want some of you guys to be thinking about, you have any questions you want to ask, that I'll be glad to answer them. But I'll tell you some of the things that's happened to me traveling along on the tour and stuff for a number of years. You get yourself in situations that you feel a little bit bad about them. One that comes to mind, I spoke to the Satoma Club downtown about 2 weeks ago, whatever like that. And I had, when I get up here, I started talking, and these things started popping into my head, and I thought of a couple just coming over, you know. I remember I was playing in the Las Vegas Invitational in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I wasn't playing very good in the tournament, you know. I'm playing on a Sunday morning. I'm playing with a guy named Dick Ryan, and somebody else was in the group. I don't know who it was, but I had just three-putted the 11th and 12th hole back, and I had three-putted twice on the front side. I normally would go months without three-putting. Well, I had three-putted 4 times in the first 12 holes. Well, I was a little bit upset, you know, as golfers usually get, you know. And I came walking off the green, and I was representing, they were a big company years ago, and I came walking off, and here's my Walter Hagen golf bag laying there, you know. So I go over to the bag, and at this point, we're wearing steel spikes on his shoes, you know. So I took me a nice little kick at that bag. I was a little bit upset at it, you know. And I was kicking at the bottom of it, but the way the bag was sitting, I kind of missed the bottom of it, and it caught the side of it. And those bags back then were made out of a naugahyde stuff. And my spikes caught that naugahyde just right. It put a big old slash about this long all the way down the bag. My shoes went right inside the bag. My right foot went in the bag, got stuck in there into the shaft, and I kicked it around like this, and it wouldn't come off, and I shook it real hard like this. And the bag flipped and rolled over the Walt Hagen bag. Well, there was a name on the bag that said Dick Ryan. It wasn't my bag. I was under contract at the time with Walter Hagen. Dick, he wasn't. And he says to me, he said, I don't have a contract. What am I going to do? I got a big hole in my bag. I said, I apologize and all this, you know, and everything. I said, I'll call them. I'll get you a bag. I'll make sure you get a new bag. They'll have to ship it to you, whatever. So we go and play down this hole here. We go to the next hole. We're standing on this par 3 over there, and we're waiting for the group of hits up there. And I'm standing over on the far side of the tee. Dick's standing over here, and I see his wife comes walking out. His wife is a pretty tough gal. I mean, pretty tough. I mean, she'll scare you. So she came walking out, and they're standing over there talking, you know, and I'm looking over there, and that time Dick comes walking on the other side of the tee and says, look, he said, I told my wife I didn't tear the bag up, but she doesn't believe me. Would you go over there and tell her what? So I said, sure, you know. So he stood right there, and I walked over to the tee, and her name was Jan. I remember it years ago. And I went over there, and I said, look, I'm sorry. Dick told me to come over here and tell you. And I kicked the hole in the bag, but he did it. He said, I knew it. She goes straight to the clubhouse. Goes straight in there. So Dick comes walking over and says, what'd you say? And I said, I went to the clubhouse, you know. He's standing there and he keeps looking, you know, and I don't know. So we play on finish out and never see him next week at the tournament again, next tournament. And so I'm out on practice tee on Tuesday. And I'm hitting it, boy, I've been out there a few minutes, all of a sudden I heard this, Graham USOB. I turned around, here comes Dick Ryan. All I could do was start laughing. He started laughing. We laughed about that for the next 30 years. You get in like one year I was playing in the Masters and I'm playing with a guy from Australia. His name is Graham Marsh. Graham now plays the senior tour. You've probably all seen his name, and he played the regular tour here for years. Well, at the Augusta National, when you go off the first tee, they have at the green, when you come up to a green, they have a scoreboard for this group that's coming up. And they have the names up on the board. And it shows what this group is shooting, the two guys that are coming up there. So when you go out, the first guy on the tee, his name goes on the board first, and the next guy on the tee, coming off the first tee, his name goes underneath it. So mine's up there, Graham, and his name is Marsh. It says Graham Marsh. So that being his name, Graham Marsh. I'm telling you all day long, every time I came off of the green, there was a little lady shaking me on the sleeve saying, son, why don't they get your name on the board? I always got out there as Graham Marsh all the time. It was so hard to play, it was unbelievable. Because every time I do anything, they say, well, who are you? What's your name? Why is your name on the board? It got a little embarrassing after a while. But playing the tour is an experience that you get out there and you play, and I've said this a lot of times, that it hurts you for enjoying to play golf back at your club. When you leave the competition, you come home because it's such a different level of play, you know. But now I have come back to that playing level that I would enjoy playing here, and I would dread to think I'd have to go out and play out there again. I wish I could, but I can't do that anymore. You know, time goes by and everything. I've told my wife a ton of times, though, that I've said this for years, that the dumber you are, the better you can play golf. Because I said, if you could take your brain out, put it on the ground, hit the shot, pick it up and say, where did it go? You probably play a lot better. Now I come in and she says, how do you play? And I said, I'm getting too smart for this game. So anybody have any questions? Good, because I'm going to ask y'all a bunch of questions. I hope y'all are writing all this down, everything. One more story that I was playing in a tournament in Japan, a guy named Bob Lund. Y'all may have heard of his name. Bob hadn't played the tour quite a few years. He played the senior tour some, but he was one of my best friends. He was a good player, won quite a few tournaments. But playing in his first time, this was about in 1969, I'm going to say, it was the first time that the Americans had ever gone to Japan in what you might say full force. It was about 40 of us went over on one plane to go play in the new tournament that they just had over there, Japanese Masters. And so at the hotel we were staying in there, the TV wasn't like here in the States. The TV, every 30 minutes you had to put a quarter in there or some yen, which you might have had. And you're laying on the bed watching TV, thing goes blank, got to get up for another quarter. So after the first night there that I'm on the bus, because everything goes by bus over there, you all at the hotel, a bus would go out in the morning. If you were playing at 7 o'clock, one bus went out. If you were playing at 11 o'clock, one bus went out. If you were playing at 1 o'clock, you had to be on the same bus. So everybody's on the same bus, and everybody comes back. Because it was always about 2 hours drive out to the course. You had to get out of the city and get out. But I'm sitting on the bus, and I'm talking to a guy sitting beside me, and he turned around and said to his Japanese buddy over there, and they were speaking. He was, I don't know, he was from Australia someplace. And I told him, I said, I'm sick of putting those quarters in the TV. And he talked to him, and so the Japanese guy spoke pretty good English. He said, no yen, no quarter. He said, go right on the money box. He had a money box right on top of the TV. He said, go over, bam, right on it. That's all you have to do. It works. I said, really? So I go back to the room, and boy, I couldn't wait for the first to go over and turn that sucker on. Wham! TV came on just like that. You know. I said, boy, this is great. Every 30 minutes I'd get up and pop it like that. Because you were looking for quarters or yen, whatever to put in there, you can't find it. So the next day I'm riding down on a bus, and Bob Lund sitting beside me. He said, God, I'm running out of quarters and change. I can't get over to watch TV. And I said, no, Bob, you just hit it right on top of the money box like that. And he said, really? So we came back on the bus that night, and Bob just happened to be staying in the room right beside me, and the walls were paper tissue thin. You could hear anything going on. So he goes over in the room in there, and I told him as he's going in, I said, be sure to hit that thing. And so I'm in the room there a second. I hadn't turned the TV on yet, hadn't parked the TV on yet. And all of a sudden I heard bam. And I said, oh, I turned it. About 3 or 4 seconds later, bam. Bam. Getting louder and louder. I went, what's he doing over here? And bam, about 4 times, and then the phone rang. She said, hey, Lou, he said, I hit this thing where I said, I heard you over here. He said, I can't get it to come on. He said, wait a minute, I'm going to hit it with my shoe. And I said, no. Wait a minute, I'll come over and make sure you're not hitting the right thing. So I go over and I walk in there and I wham, I hit this sucker and it wouldn't work. I wham, I hit it again. He's got his shoe and he's getting ready to hit it. And I started looking around and I said, wait a minute, let's plug it back in on the wall. The maid had been there and cleaned it up, and she had unplugged it for some reason. I guess it put a vacuum cleaner in there, whatever. But our wham came right on. Nobody got any questions?
I got one.
Okay, I just want before you say anything, I want you to reach out and grab that bottle of beer. Okay? Now wait a minute. Turn your hand a little to the right on it. Okay, now sit back down. That'll be $50, please. Our booze don't work cheap, son.
Who was probably the player that made you the most nervous first time playing with you? Like, going to the tee box, the tee off here.
You didn't get nervous.
There you go.
Well, I got nervous, but it didn't, normally not that much on the first tee. I'll tell you a story that the first time I ever played with Arnold Palmer. Now, Arnold was the king when I was starting out, and Nicholas was him. It was Nicholas Palmer, Gary Player, and Billy Casper. In the final round of the LA Open in 1967, that I had never played with Arnold, I had never played with Billy Casper either. So and it was the last round of the tournament. Arnold was leading the tournament, had a shot, and Billy was like in third place, and I was about in fifth place. Back then they paired 1, 3, 5. Now they pair 1, 2, 3. But they split the leaders up because the galleries were, I have 4 or 5 people here, so they split them up. That was a joke. But I had never played with them, and guys would say, oh man, you gonna play with Arnold today? I said, you're going along there. So I wasn't really that concerned about it. What you shoot, you shoot. But I had figured out, well, when I go to the first tee, I want to make sure I have some kind of little bit of a defense. So I got to go with an attitude, And so I walked out. I told my wife, I said, when I go out there, she wasn't there. She was back at the hotel with the kids. And I said, when I go out there, I'm going to have to look at Arnold square in the eye. And I said, I'm going to give him I'm going to make a remark to him. And she said, really? So I told a couple of my buddies on the putting green what I was going to say, And I said, I'm going to walk up to him, I'm going to shake his hand, and I'm going to say, I'm going to kick your butt. Oh. And I'm going to look him right square in the eye. So they said, he'll look at you and say, good luck. And so I walked up to him, and I had met Billy Casper on the putting green. I walked up to Arnold on the first tee, and I grabbed his hand, I looked him square in the eye, and I thought to myself, I didn't say it. I said, I'm going to kick your butt. But he looked at me funny. I noticed that. And he thought, tell us about this kid, But went out first hole, I bogeyed the first hole right off the bat. Second hole, Arnold bogeys the second hole, and Billy bogeys the third hole. The first 3 holes were hard holes. There were long iron shots and wood shots. Par 3 was like a 230-yard par 3, real hard. So at the end of 3 holes, all 3 of us were 1 over par, and that settled me down a lot. Then I figured out I needed to be a friend of Arnold's, not a foe of Arnold's, because everybody in the gallery was pulling for Arnold and not for me. So, and as it turned out, I shot 68 that day and finished third in the tournament. Arnold won the tournament, but I started out, I was 3 shots behind him, but coming to the 16th hole, I had pulled up within 1 shot of the lead, and I kept telling myself I was going to beat him. But he birdied 17 and 18. So, and he wins the tournament. He beats Gabriel by a shot, and I finished third in the tournament. And that was a round that really proved to me that I could compete. I was starting my 3rd year. About 2.5 years I've been playing at that point. I was 28, 29, 28. Just a kid. Yeah.
Who's your best friend on tour?
Wife.
Oh, good.
That's good.
good friends. Everybody out there I feel like was a good friend of mine. I don't play anymore now. I play one tournament, play the Legends tournament in the spring. But you're good friends with everybody, but you're competing against everybody, you know. So when you go out to play, there's always that little bit of that. When you're in competition, it's not a buddy-buddy situation, you know what I mean? So somebody beats you, you don't forgive them very easy. No, but I couldn't claim one person that was a great friend of mine today. I have great friends. Charles Cootie is a great friend. Charlie won the Masters, and Dale Douglas. Charlie lives in Abilene, Texas, and I go to Abilene and play at his club down there a lot and do different things, charity stuff down there. And Dale Douglas lives out in Phoenix in the wintertime and Denver in the summertime. I've been there with him to play different stuff, but I have quite a few guys that are very good friends. Most everybody out there, you know, they get along well. You know, they're all. It's like it's a big traveling family. Even today, it's the same. Back when I was playing, they were all driving cars. Now they're all flying in their own jets. You know. So when I started the tour, I was working as a teaching pro in Baltimore, Maryland, in 1964, and I had a friend of mine here from Nashville called me up and said he would like to ask. He wanted to know if I would like to try the tour, and I said, yeah, you know, I'd like to try it. I've been wanting to. And he says, well, I'm going to borrow some money, and I would like to give you a chance to go out there. You know, I'll back you for a couple of years. And I said, okay. So I was teaching up there in Baltimore, and so my wife and I, after Labor Day, I said I couldn't quit at that point. It's like in June, but I said after Labor Day, we'll leave the job here and start out. So I left Baltimore with my wife and 2 kids, and we drove from Baltimore down here to Nashville. Gave away, threw away, or sold our furniture, whatever we had up there, and brought a few things down, like a bed, and put it in my mother and father's attic. And we took us 2 days from Baltimore to Nashville. This was before interstates, and then we left driving to Portland, Oregon, was the first tournament. Took us 5 days. This is, like I said, this was before interstates, and it was this way and that way and this way, and 2-lane roads and whatever, and drive solid for 5 days to get out there. And every day along the trail there, I would stop. I'd see a course along the road, and I'd pull off. And I had my own shag bags and shag balls, and because they didn't have many driving ranges back then. And I'd go in and I'd knock on the guy's pro shop door there and introduce myself and say, would you mind if I hit a few balls? And I'd just go out on the side of one of the holes out there and knock them down the fairway or wherever and go out and pick them up and go back in and say thanks and get back in the car. I figured I couldn't drive for 5 days and get out and have to go into the qualifying because you had to qualify on Mondays back then when you're trying to get started. So, and I was fortunate there that I went out there and I qualified for my first tournament. And this is what's different today. And I didn't even know it. I go out there and I qualify to get in, so I go out and play and I make the cut. I have a regular cut like they do now on Fridays. And I didn't know it till we finished. They have another cut back then on Saturday. They cut it down to 70 in ties, and then they cut it down to 60 in ties. Well, on Saturday, I didn't play that good, and I missed out on the next cut. And now I had to go get back into qualifying, and I thought, well, wait, this is wrong. The guys who missed the Friday cut, and they're in the qualifying, they're already a whole day ahead of me. They're going to the other course, which is like 400 or 500 miles away. And they're over there practicing, and I'm going to not be getting out there, so they're ahead of me. So I go into this, here I am, first time I ever played in. I go in the PGA office, knock, Norton. I go in there and start complaining. They look at me and they said, man, first term this guy's in here complaining already. But the next year they changed the rules. And they said, you know, we thought about that. And they said, you are exactly right. Nobody's really said anything about it. I said, it's ridiculous. I said, I can make the first cut. They don't. And they got the edge on me for the next week, you know. Yeah. But that did change a lot, you know.
What do you think's the biggest, I guess, holdback for the U.S. team in the Ryder Cup with that coming up? What do you think?
The biggest holdback?
Yeah, what's causing them to?
European players are better. Look at that. My wife and I went over to Ireland a couple years ago, and they played the Ryder Cup in Ireland, and I had 3 or 4 of my friends from down in Florida that were going over there, and we had some tickets to go, and so they called us and said some of their friends didn't show up, and they had a big house, wanted to know would we come on over, and I said, I don't want to go. They're going to get beat. And they kept saying, well, what do you mean, how can you say they're going to get beat? I said, because I read every week about 6 or 7 of the top 10 players in the tournament are European players. I said, it's not going to change. The European players have just worked hard and they've improved their games a lot. They travel all over the world and do it, and they're good players. They picked up a lot of distance. Used to be years ago that the Europeans always complained the same thing as the Americans output us. The Americans output us, and we did. The Americans putted better because they played with the small ball over there, and then they'd come into the Ryder Cup matches, and you could play the small ball or the regular American-sized ball. And the American-sized ball has an advantage in some ways because when it goes in the rough, it doesn't sink down in as far as the small ball, but they played the small ball because of the wind. But it was much harder to putt with the small ball. So consequently, they didn't have the confidence in their putting that the Americans did. You know, and then they started trying to work into the bigger ball, and then they just eliminated the small ball over there and just went with the American-sized ball, and they've been improving ever since. And that's why I think, you know, the best it's ever been. He's not far from it, I'll tell you that. If he's not, I'd like to be him. But I think that he will be. At this moment, I don't know that he is, but he is certainly well on the way. Let's put it that way. Jack Nicklaus still has him on the edge on the tournaments and stuff like that, but he's coming on strong. And guys are always saying to me, who would you pick to win this tournament? And, you know, who would you bet on? I said, man, there's nobody to bet on but one man, Tiger Woods. I said, if I bet on somebody else, and Tiger won the tournament and I lost, I'd say, I got to be the biggest idiot walking. He wins like 28% of his tournaments. Nobody has ever been able to win more than about 18% or something like that. It's good. But he's a great player, but you know, and I've also said this for years, he will definitely win more tournaments than everybody's ever won, win more majors than anyone's ever won, if he doesn't have injuries. And now he's got a bad injury. And I'm a living testimony to the fact that injuries will destroy your game. I had 3 surgeries on this hand. I had 1 surgery on this hand that I made it through good years ago, and I had 3 on this hand. And you come back to playing and it hurts you and hurts your confidence, and boy, you're in trouble. You know, because that's the game of God, it's confidence. If you don't have confidence, truly, have it all the way through you can't do it. You can't compete about the best players in the world. When he comes back, look at Ernie Els. Ernie Els hurt his knee on some kind of a sailing ship or something about 5 years ago, and he's never been the player. He didn't play for like 6 months. He had some kind of surgery on it. He played for 6 months, and he's never been the same. Now, whether Tiger's going to come back and be the same player, I hope he does. The golf needs him. But I don't know whether he will or not. I hope he does.
What about Kenny Perry in the Ryder Cup? You looking for good things from him?
There'll be a lot of pressure on him. His home being in his home state and everything. Let's like J.B. Holmes is going to be there also. But I think Kenny will play well. Yeah, and it all goes back. If he gets out there and gets off a good start, knocks in a few putts, well, you know how it is. Just the same to you. You knock in a few putts, you can do no wrong. You know, and so Kenny's a great player, and I think he'll do well. But it will be a different situation for him, no question about it. It'll be hard for him. Yes?
Louis, I got a question.
Yeah, really, what you got?
This goes back to when Brad Bud's son there and I were kids. You just come pick us up and take us to play at Hartford or wherever, Court Prison. We drive 20, 30 minutes listening to your music, which was classical or orchestra or that music.
I think you were in the wrong car. I think that was when we was going over on the bus.
Listen to that classical orchestra. I guess my question to you is on the golf course, all the way to the golf course, do you still listen to that classical music?
You got a better memory than me. I listen to whatever comes on. I don't have to change the dial.
It was terrible then.
Yes, sir.
Have you got any stories about Bert Yancey?
Bert Yancey. Bert was a good guy. He was a different individual, but he was a good guy. Bert had different kinds of problems, but not really. You know that I played with Bert a lot of times, and he was a good friend of mine. Everything, but I don't have any real. I didn't spend time with Bert away from the course, anything like that. We just, see him and play him and get paired with him and everything like that. But he was a good guy, he had a very unfortunate timely death of his own, But he was a good guy, but I really don't know about Bert.
Louis,
Yep.
what about the 3 teams you played on? Y'all win, lose, and where did you play?
We won all 3 of them. We played the first one the year that I played, we played at Muirfield in Scotland. And the second one played at Laurel Valley in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. And Arnold, that's Arnold's home course up there, and Arnold was the captain that year. He wasn't on the team. The first year that he in Muirfield in Scotland, he was on the team, but he wasn't on the team that year. In fact, I think Muirfield was the last team that he made. And the last year I played on it, we played at Roy Lintham St. Anne's, and we won all 3 of them.
Sound like McCabe.
Sound like McCabe. I want to tell you one last story here that I thought about this coming over here, and I hadn't thought about it in a long time. That I lived in Florida in the wintertime, and I had been at this club called Bonita Bay Club. And I'd been there maybe about a month, the first year I'd been there, and I got a call from up at the club, the guy in charge of the club up there. He said, we have a group that meets up here once a month. It's called the Octogenarian Club. Octogenarian, you have to be, that's 80 and 90 years and up. You must be at least 80 years of age. And he said to meet once a month, and would you come up and say a few words? And I said, yeah, what we're going to talk about? The guy invented automobiles or something. This was in 1985 or 6. So they were there when the first automobiles and airplanes were invented, So I said, yeah, I'll come up. So I go up there, and it was kind of a bright, sunshiny, cool day outside, and went inside, and there was about 20 gentlemen in there, and only one of them was in the 80s, the rest of them were in the 90s. And so I went in, I talked to them, they were having a few drinks and everything, and the lights were kind of low in there, and it was kind of warm in the room, see? So they served lunch, and they had maybe about 6 or 8 guys sitting at each table, just sitting around, and they had a little podium so like this up there, set up, and they were sitting there, but I'm eating dinner, and they were having drinks, all of them, and they were drinking drinks. They were drinking Jack Daniels and rum and Coke and all this stuff, So I'm sitting there eating. I've got 5 or 6 guys at my table sitting there, and a guy across the table over there, he had finished eating and he was drinking. He had a couple of drinks. Everybody in there had a couple of drinks. And he was sitting there, and all of a sudden he goes.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Well, we're just making the turn this morning. We started the day 1 point up as a team. It's 4.5 to 3.5, and right now I'm 2 up in my match. It's been a really good match. Troy's actually even in his match. He's playing really well, making some birdies and hanging in there with Lauren. He's a real good player. So it looks like everything's going pretty good for us in our group. And I don't know about the rest of the guys, but from what I've heard, just passing on the course, seems like everybody's playing well, having a good time. Beautiful day today, much better than yesterday. So just keep on plugging away at it.
Good.
Ball there.
Hell, I think I could hit that fairway.
Big, isn't it, Bruce? Big old fairway.
It's almost as wide as the tee box.
Big, isn't it, Bruce? Big fairway.
Yeah, I like them big.
I thought that was a big fairway myself.
Good shot, Scott. Yeah, I guess you want to be on the left side today with that pin in.
That's what I was thinking.
In a perfect world, yeah. Won't be on the left side. I'm just trying to hit somewhere in between the trees, Rich.
Well, you got it covered on this hole.
I think. what I've been waiting on, right?
Get through this. All right.
Play hard, guys.
Noel and Todd, they are Noel's 2 down, and me and Larry Bland, I'm a 2 up in the turn. All right.
I don't know where my good shot.
Ride, just fly. Good ball, Todd.
Good shot, Noel.
Okay, that's what a swing in it.
Ah, good shot.
Good ball there, Ronnie.
That's a good
Shot,
swing.
bud.
Good posture.
Thank you.
Center every time.
We'll sit there until I get on the plate.
Something against you.
You start blowing when you got up. Got this McCabe voodoo going on us. There you go. Look at that point.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Good ball, John.
Good swing. Woo. Big hop.
Hell out of the ball.
Can't putt.
See how it goes.
Put lights out at Harp.
Well, we ain't at Harpeth, are we?
No, sir.
Come on, Wayne, get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm 3 down to Nick. Nick, what's your last name?
Branch.
Nick Branch, the club champion at McCabe. But I ain't through yet. Was you still rolling?
How you?
I'm 3 down at this point as well. Ronnie's really taking it to me here early, but we still got 9 to go. I feel, pretty good about my game. I need to hold him from the fairway, though. I can't putt. Thanks.
Get in. Yes, sir, partner. Good, and I'm getting spanked.
Oh, yeah. How was the match?
I'm 2 up, going to 10, and I'm 1 down, going to 10.
Okay. You just made that birdie, right?
We both birdied that hole to win that hole.
Okay. Good.
Thanks, Bruce.
Never saw it.
Right down there. Little rock.
Ball.
Hold on, that ball faded. Hold on. Hard back. There it is. Big ball, Scott.
Harper's Hill's got them 1 down going into 10. Both matches.
Swing.
Oh, shot, Jamie.
Wait, good shot.
Good swing.
Swing.
Right there. Good shot.
I got Shane down today, one down after the turn. Dwayne's killing my boy Chris. He's got him
I'll
one
tell you
down
what, he's
at
hitting
the turn.
He's hitting chip two of them in on me. Chip two of them in from 40 feet, and I'm still hanging in there against him. We've got a good match.
Thank you.
I think it's one down. Right? Isn't that right, Stevie? Ronnie's one down? Yeah.
And how are you?
I'm two up with George.
I'm one.
Get down.
There's a friggin' rock, ain't it? Good putt.
Carpet Hills 3 up after 9.
Okay, what about the other guy?
They're one out.
Okay, okay.
I don't need to say it, let him say it. Oh!
We're at the 18th hole here. Binkley's 1 up on 18T. Lands a little left to right. This could be a big point in the match here. And he's hooked it to the left. It's be on me.
That's right.
Doors open for Kevin.
Come on, run that shit up.
Kevin's hit. Looks like it's going to be hanging on the right here. Does it matter us but the match on the line?
Binkley.
This is Scott Binkley's second shot on the 18th here at McCabe. He is currently 1 up in his match. Standing on 16T, he was 1 down. He's won the last 2 holes. He's got about 150 yards to a front right pin. He's hit it toward the back of the green. Good shot.
Kevin's here. He's got to make this putt to. You got to win this hole to have the match.
Yeah,
Talk about.
18th green, here we go. We got Kevin with about 40 to 45 footer. Downhill breaking to the right. Matches on the line, both laying 2. Scott's 1 up. Feet behind. Scott's about 6 or 7 feet by. 2 putts for the match here. Scott makes is he wins the match. And he did. There it is, folks.
Cut, Scott.
Yesterday's finish was probably one of the best reach down where your soul lives and play.
Right.
We were dormy on 16. It's raining. I mean, all the elements are against us, and we can't have any more ties. And we birdied 16 to extend the match. And then here at 17, they got it in trouble off the tee. And Todd rolls in an 8-footer for birdie. So now we're going to 18, still one down. And they both hit good shots, and we're all in the middle of the fairway. And Todd hits an 8-iron in there right just left of the pin about 12 feet and makes it. And all the tension, you know, that's on you when you're dormy, just it'll come out of you. And you could have heard me down on the bottom of the hill. It was
because 18 yesterday was playing really,
tough.
really difficult.
The wind was blowing hard from the right, and Todd faded one against the wind, and it just stalled over the pin and fell just dead vertical, 12 foot. And you know, out of all the matches that were discussed yesterday afternoon, you know, everybody thought that our match was closed out. And birdie.
Yeah, that's a great finish.
It's tension is something that you know, you can either use for yourself or against yourself. And when we extended the match, it sort of pumped us up. We changed the momentum and won.
Yeah, that's great.
Even they said that you know, they could just feel the air get let out of them because they thought they were going to be done, and they were wet. And we just never let the elements bother us. And it just goes to show you that mentally tough is better a lot of times than shot making.
Right. That's a great finish.
I had the same situation on me today. I mean, I'm dormy on 16. I hit a great shot up there, and Billy Joe and I both, I can't tie him, and we're both laying on the green in 2, and you know, we tie. So I'm closed out 3 and 2.
Right.
But the match that was to watch today, I mean, Todd, it wasn't like Todd was hitting it 3 foot. He made 15 footers. He made 120 footer.
Right.
I mean, you have 9 birdies and 14 holes. Whoever's on the other end of you.
Right.
He's
gonna
trying
take
his
a whipping.
best. Exactly. So I think the matches for the people we talked to coming back in, I think the matches are, you know, real close, and will come down to this area of the course, 16, 17.
Right.
They're real close. There's a one match back there that's way out of alignment where we're down, our guys way down, but the rest of them's been 1 up, 2 ups, scratch, squares. It's been a lot of fun, and we thank you guys for coming out here. This is going to be pretty neat to see after we get it edited and on tape. Be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Be pretty cool.
Well, congratulations again on that comeback yesterday.
Well, thank you. I mean, it seemed like that was the talk of yesterday's matches.
Yeah, that was incredible. That's fantastic. Good plan.
Billy Joe was following us, and he said, you know, he could tell that, you know, they were getting tight, and it's funny how adrenaline works. You know, I mean, I probably picked up 10 yards off my tee ball just on adrenaline going through the shot. I mean, it just seemed like it was grease, you know.
Right.
So it's neat to know how to get there and how to hold on to it. We had a lot of fun.
Thanks for talking with us.
Not a problem. Thanks a bunch. Appreciate it.
How did they play, or how did the match go?
Well, just about all his birdies.
Well, I'm not in the match.
Are you the one that made all the birdies?
Yeah, but I'm serious, fellas. I ain't good at this. I mean, I just soon, you know, hey, I played my heart out for you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I mean,
that's fantastic.
Well, like I said, I tried and played my heart out. This is the first time in it, and I had a great time. I had a good time.
Well, congratulate you again, sir.
What did you shoot on your front 9 today?
Fella, I didn't keep up with anything.
You were just taking them down one by one?
I never kept up with anything on the scorecard. I just played my best.
9 birdies and 14 holes.
That's hard.
Wow.
That'll be the
That's
whole
fantastic. Good playing.
You know how it is.
Some days it's good.
Well, today it was. I rolled the putter to good today.
Congratulations on your play today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Putter make a difference.
All right, we're here with Ronald Hickman at McCabe, longtime pro at McCabe, and going to talk a little bit about the tournament to honor his dad and Mr. Eaton, and maybe what it means to him, and maybe how some of the golf's gone he's seen today.
Well, it's a great honor to have my dad and Herschel Eaton having a tournament in their honor. And it's just an outstanding tournament they have. There's a lot of fellowship going along with it. It's just a great tournament for two associations.
Ronald, glad you came to watch. Cheer your team on. Looks like it's a close match right now.
Good shot. Video, John. Some bitches think he's about to take a practice one.
Run, ball.
It's the last match on the course?
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're way out, trying to be way out of the way.
You got that. Yeah, right.
God, I did everything but go in a hole.
That was a great putt.
Match all even. Here we are at 18, Arbandale.
Good ball.
Hey, Kevin, tell me where it goes, okay?
Low and this side. So quarter green.
All right.
Alright, good shot.
Gotta have this.
They are?
Tell me where it is, Kevin.
Oh my Lord, I tried to
Where?
watch you on 18.
Come on, ball. Come on.
Good job, Nick. Good job, Nick. Good shot.
Good.
All right, we're with John Fulcher. He just got us a whole point on 18, won number 18. He had a good match. John, tell me a little bit about your match.
Well, I got, after 9 holes, I was 3 down, and I was still 3 down after number 12, I think.
Yes, you were.
So I won 13, 14, and I almost knocked it in the hole on 15 at par 3. And I almost faltered on the way, but I got a point out of it. So
That's a big point.
Good.
It's a big point. Good
Big,
job.
yeah, big point. Big point.
Bye.
Great shot. Yeah!
Way to go, Fatty. What's all that hollering for the Arkansas?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were here.
The camera could be
Ooh.
This is Mike Kelleher. We're giving you an update on the matches. Currently, these are the 8th and 9th matches of the day. The matches stand: McCabe 7.5, Harpeth Hill 6.5, and both of these matches are either one up or one down, so these are very critical matches. We're on the 18th tee.
Ball. He's currently one up in his match.
freewheeling, buddy.
Good ball. Very good ball.
Let's step on Parker.
Great shot. Good job, Mike.
Best one all day.
That was Mike Kellogg. He's currently one down. He just birdied 17 to get to one down. He's still dormant.
Ball.
Okay, this is Drew getting ready to hit.
Yeah. Drew Bobo currently stands one up in his match. Oh, almost flew it in the hole.
I got that shot.
Wow.
See, what I'll be able to do is take his shot, and when I'm zooming back, you know, and you got all this, I can cut it and go right where the shot's
saw
on.
the ball.
Me
I
either.
lost it in
I just aimed at the
The
flag.
sky is so freaking clear.
Okay.
Ball was hit directly over the flag. That was a great shot. Mike Kellogg. Hitting his second to 18. He's one down in his match. He doesn't like it.
Where the fuck did it go and out of bounds? Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
That's pretty good. Good shot, Mike.
Go in. Go in. Go in. Holy shit. Hey, Jamie.
Well, I'm not sure. I think the total right now is probably either 8 to 8 or 8 and a half. I think it's 8 to 8.
Okay. How many more matches are out?
Probably 6 or 7 unless some of them closed out.
Good shot, Dwayne.
shot.
Good shot.
Shot, Jenner. Shot, Sugar.
Okay, get up here and tell me what.
We are on the 16th tee here at McCabe Golf Course. The matches currently stand even at 10 points each, and both of these matches that we just teed off on the 17th hole. Shane from McCabe, excuse me. What's his last name?
Shane Matthews.
Shane Matthews from Harpeth Hills is currently 2 down, Dormy to Jenner Bennett, and then the other match stands 1 up, Harpeth Hills. So the matches, if they stay as is, the matches would still be tied, but we still have 17 and 18.
Drop. Drop. Yeah. What a putt.
Get up, man!
Hey, I got that on tape. Shane just went 3 downs, 2 to go, and closed out.
Hit it, Chris, hit it.
There you go, Dwayne.
Good shot,
ball,
Dwayne.
baby. Good ball.
Yeah. Close, but not the same.
Good ball, Chris.
Way to go, partner. Go ahead. Way to go, right.
Can't see it. He hadn't hit yet.
I'm just going to aim it at the...
Right at the hole. Right at the hole, Bruce. Going to go in. Saw that one the whole way.
Yep. It could be a big half here.
Oh, this is huge here. Shit. This could swing the whole matches.
See, now we got the wind in our face. Where is it?
Never saw it. Hadn't hit yet.
Oh.
He's still practicing. Okay, here we go. Can't see it. Bunker.
Bunker right. Bad.
I thought he made it. I told him.
Oh! Good fight, Dwayne.
Hey, yeah! Way to go, Chris!
All right, right now, unofficially, I believe it's 11.5 to 10.5. McCabe's winning the team standings with one match. Well, actually, 2 matches left in the course, and Harpfield's is up in one of the matches, and the other match is even, coming into the 17th hole. So it looks like it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
And these guys back here probably don't know yet how important their matches are, but I'm sure they'll find out when they get up here to this green. So
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be really close.
That's great. Very competitive, and that's kind of a bonus for this whole thing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's matches, it's a bonus. A lot of fun for all the players.
Everybody's having a
to have a
great
close
time.
match makes it all the better.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's having a great time.
Thanks,
today.
Kev.
Thanks, man.
Who is it?
Bart Dennis.
Short. Come on, Trey.
How's this match with Trey?
This is even. This is Trey hitting right here. Bart short of the green. It's a big shot here. Get up. Short.
Short of the green?
Sit, 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 sit. Good shot, Mark. There we go, baby.
It was like Mickelson or something. Beautiful. Another good one.
Sit. Good shot.
Good shot. Shot.
Bart and Trey are even. They're both on 2. Bart's 1 up. We got a.
Run!
Oh, look at this.
Run! Run! Go in the hole! Good job, Bart!
Okay, we win either one of these matches, it's 12.5 to 10 to 11. So who's playing who? That's the question.
Tell you that you're about a 12 to 13 footer uphill against the green. Probably they'll have the hole. He got it there. Missed it on the left. Alright, you got about a 5 or 6 footer uphill against the green. Should be about right edge, maybe a hair outside right edge. This is for the car. His opponent's about maybe a couple feet inside of it for the car. Big putt in the whole entire Hickman Eaton Cup match.
get everything but going.
Parking for
Got a 4-footer straight uphill against the grain inside the right edge to go one up. This could be the deciding match of the whole big meeting cup right here. Bart Dennis for Bart to win the whole.
Yes.
Do it!
Yeah!
Woo!
Yeah!
Way to go, Bart!
This is the win, 2-1 right here. Close win out. Mark Nicholson for Bart. For Bernie, I'm sorry.
Out!
Ball.
Trey's got to get it close to win the match.
Go! Come on! Come on! Go! Nice. Come on! Go! Come on! Get him! Oh! Shit! Oh! Woo! How close is that? Great cut! Oh, man!
Shot, Bart. Good roll. Good roll.
Good roll, Bart.
Yeah, baby.
Next
year, baby, it's
I ain't
you.
told
It's
it,
your
baby.
turn.
I ain't told it.
I imagine we're gonna see
Hell of a
some
shot.
new faces.
Good match. Enjoyable, enjoyable. Good match.
No.
No.
Y'all played great, guys. Y'all played great.
Get Trey.
Wait, let me get Trey.
I done that back 2 holes ago, buddy. Where's Mark?
Get up there with Mike. Mike, get up there and talk about the match. Talk about this last
Mark,
match.
come here. Mark Nicholson, come here, Mark. All right, we're here by the 18th green at McCabe Golf Course, and Trey McCormick and Mark Nicholson. They were the last 2 on the course, and 2 very big matches. And I'm gonna let them tell you a little bit about their matches coming in the last few holes. What did y'all think about the crowd watching? And did you know how close it was?
It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
we knew exactly where we were.
Yeah, adrenaline was pumping. It was fun.
No question about it.
Well, what about that last putt? Had my heart pumping big time, but I thought it was going in.
Yeah, didn't miss about half inch.
So the matches ended up a tie this year, is that right? So you guys retained the cup. You won the cup last year by a point, so you retained the cup.
Right. Exactly.
So that was a lot of pressure. I thought both of you guys on the final hole hit the ball exceptionally well with all the pressure, because you knew how you stood. You knew you had to win that hole for you guys to retain the cup, and he knew he couldn't let you beat him.
Right.
So that was great.
Yeah, that's what
But
it's
you
all
guys
about.
really did well under the pressure, I thought.
That's a great match, guys. Congratulations, you two. Congratulations to Noel Lewis, the team captain this year. And we look forward to next year at Harper Hills with Billy Joe Green, who's captain.
Thanks, Coach.
Good job, guys.
Good playing.
Thank you.
Who's captain next to you?
Hey,
I
Shay.
think some better come in here. They want to get invite back. Those don't hang around, they ain't invite.
Well, next year we're going to make participation at the end of Steve.
Minor ball games.
Yeah.
And they run. And you got to get more people involved.
And you involved.
All you want.
Thank you.
Hey, I just want to say.
Hey, no. Hey, no.